Imagine transforming Photoshop into a tool from one that lags to one that feels like an extension of your very imagination. Every filter, every layer, every brushstroke, instant and effortless. Sound impossible? Well, it's not in 2025. Hey, I'm Craig, Managing Director at Utopia, where we've spent almost 30 years crafting award-winning systems for creators like you. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to build or buy a Photoshop workstation that works like a dream. No guesswork, no overspending, just pure creative power. Let's dive in. First things first, the CPU is the brain of your workstation. It's where the magic happens. If you're tweaking layers, applying filters, or working with high-res images, it's your CPU that is doing most of the heavy lifting. Fun fact, folks, 90% of what Photoshop does is CPU driven, not GPU. So if you're pouring all your budget into a high-end graphics card thinking it's going to transform your Photoshop experience, well, I've got some news for you. Sadly, it won't. So the crown jewel of 2025 in CPUs is the AMD Ryzen 7 9700X. So let's talk details. For 2025, that 9700X is the undisputed champion for Photoshop. Why? Because its architecture is optimized for single-threaded performance, and that's really important. Photoshop thrives on that single-threaded performance. The 9700X tops the Puget Bench charts with a whopping 11,500 score. Compare that to Intel's Core Ultra 9 285K, which pulls a respectable but lesser 9,822. AMD has really nailed it with the balance of speed and efficiency here. Pro tip, if you're thinking of splurging on a higher core CPU, to be honest, don't bother. Photoshop only effectively uses up to 8 cores. More cores mean more heat, which equals wasted cash. Stick to fewer, faster cores and you are going to be golden. Now, clock speed is king. When it comes to Photoshop, clock speed is everything. Think of it like the RPM of a race car engine. A CPU that clocks at 4 GHz or higher is going to breeze through your tasks like a Porsche on the open road. That's where AMD's 9700X shines again. 5.5 GHz max boost clock. If you look at anything slower, you're going to be leaving performance on the table. Now, AMD's X3D technology, is that worth it? Well, for power users wondering about AMD's shiny new Ryzen 7 9800X3D, let's talk. The 9800X3D brings 3D V-cache into the mix, with triple the L3 cache of the 9700X. This all sounds super impressive, right? And it kind of is, sort of. The extra cache helps with gaming and some niche workflows, but the boost is marginal at best for Photoshop. Plus, it has a higher power consumption and a £120 price bump. Save your money unless you're splitting time between gaming and Photoshop or potentially more demanding creative tasks like After Effects. Intel, they're not out of the game yet. Now, Intel fans, please don't feel left out. The Core Ultra 9 285K, it does have its strengths. It's brilliant for multi-threaded workflows like Premiere Pro and After Effects, but for Photoshop, well, like I said, it's simply fallen behind AMD's 9700X, mostly due to Intel's architecture not being as efficient in single-threaded performance. Now, if you're totally loyal to Intel, the Core Ultra 7 265K might be better value for Photoshop with a solid 5.5 GHz boost clock. So if you're going Intel, that's my shout. So to sum up, if you're using Photoshop and it's your bread and butter, go for the AMD Ryzen 7 9700X. It's the perfect blend of power, efficiency and value. Skip the overkill CPUs with those extra cores and put that money into better RAM or faster storage. Now onto GPUs. How much is too much? Alright, let's talk GPUs. Photoshop is starting to lean more on GPU acceleration. But don't let that trick you into overspending. A mid-tier card like an NVIDIA GeForce 4060 or a Radeon RX 7600 will handle everything Photoshop can throw at it, and then some. If you're on a tighter budget, well, we've got a fantastic new entry. Enter the Intel Arc B580. For about £250, this card offers a staggering 12 GB of VRAM, which is great for handling large files, multitasking, or a cool kind of 4K or multi-monitor setup. It really is a compelling option when you consider how well it performs in Lightroom's export tasks, or even matching or surpassing NVIDIA's RTX 4060 and 4060 Ti at times during benchmarking. That said, here's the thing. Adobe just loves NVIDIA. Photoshop and much of Adobe's Creative Suite is heavily optimized for NVIDIA's CUDA cores, giving their GPUs a natural edge. in features like neural filters, AI tools, and general stability. For example, the Art B580 is no slouch, but it can't quite match the refined performance or driver stability that NVIDIA brings to the table. Team Green is still the safest bet for demanding workflows relying on AI-powered features. So, pro tip, if you're working in 4K or have a multi-monitor setup, make sure that your GPU has at least 8GB of VRAM. Whether you're going to be going NVIDIA, AMD, or even Intel's Art cards, without it, you're going to start to see stutters instead of your masterpiece. While mentioning that Intel Art B580 is an exciting budget option with potential, NVIDIA's proven track record of stability and software support is still kind of making it our go-to choice for pro-level Photoshop workflows. Moving on to RAM. Memory. Bigger isn't always better, so how much RAM do you actually need? Well, it depends on your projects, so let's break it down. 16GB. This is still perfect for standard projects. We're talking 500MB and below. 32GB. It's ideal for projects that are moving up to about 1GB in size, complex raw file edits. And then moving up from there, you've got 64GB. Really, to be honest, it's reserved for absolute power users working on maybe satellite imagery or crazy detailed composites. Photoshop has nifty document sizes section right down the bottom left-hand corner from memory. Check it out. The right-hand number tells you how much RAM your file actually uses, including all the layers, and that's going to give you a good indication of how much RAM you need. Another pro tip, always leave some headroom. Running out of RAM mid-project can feel like hitting a creative brick wall, and RAM really is pretty cheap these days, so there's no excuse. Moving on to storage, speed versus capacity. Gone are the days of chunky, slow-spinning hard drives. For Photoshop, storage speed is your key. So let's talk about the perfect setup. For your primary drive, we're talking about a 1TB NVMe SSD for your OS and Photoshop installation. We're talking fast, reliable, and future-proof. For a secondary drive, a 2TB SSD, or if you can stretch to it, a 2TB NVMe for your active projects and things like your image library. You're also going to be able to stretch to a scratch disk. A 500GB SSD is pounds these days. It's going to give you dedicated Photoshop temporary space for files, and this is going to keep everything running buttery smooth. In tests, NVMe drives like Samsung's 980 Pro are up to 4 times faster than SATA SSDs. Translation, that's going to mean massive file loads in seconds. So another pro tip here, avoid working directly off an external drive unless they're super high performance, like NAS setups, etc. External drives can create bottlenecks, and that again can be a creativity killer. So, a couple of quick questions we often get asked. Do you need an NVIDIA Quadro GPU or professional RTX card for Photoshop? No. Unless you're doing CAD or 3D rendering, stick to the GeForce cards. Even cards as low as the RTX 3060 or 3070 are still going to deliver a huge amount of performance to the table. Quadros bring almost no benefit to Photoshop and come with a hefty price tag. So how much VRAM does Photoshop actually need? 8GB is your sweet spot. It's going to handle 4K displays and multiple monitor setups with ease. For large files, bigger workflows, we're going to recommend bumping that up to that 12GB of VRAM. It really is worth it. Now, can you run Photoshop with onboard graphics, so no dedicated graphics card? Technically, yes, but you're going to hate yourself for it. A basic GPU delivers up to 2 times the speed in GPU accelerated tasks, so it really is worth not skimping here if you can avoid it. And what is the benefit of that scratch disk I mentioned? Well, think of a scratch disk as Photoshop's junk drawer. It's where all the temporary files go, keeping your main drive clutter-free. The result is just generally smoother and faster performance. It's really easy to set up. Monitors. Now this is often overlooked, but it is your window to creative precision. When it comes to Photoshop, your monitor isn't just a screen, it's your canvas. And a good monitor ensures the colours you see are accurate, consistent and reliable across devices. This is where monitors like the Asus ProArt series are a fantastic choice for creators who value colour, precision and ergonomic design. Take the Asus ProArt PA279CRV for example. It boasts a 27-inch 4K Ultra HD display with 100% sRGB and 99% DCI-P3 colour gamut coverage. Factory calibrated for colour accuracy, it means that literally straight out of the box you're seeing the colours as they're meant to be, whether you're editing photos, working on raw files or colour grading videos. For creators on a budget, if a high spec monitor like the ProArt series isn't in the cards for you, then don't worry, you can still optimize your current setup. Color calibration tools really are a game changer for budget-friendly workflows, and devices like Spider X Pro help you kind of fine-tune your existing monitor color settings, bringing a closer professional-grade display to an entry-level display. So they are worth checking out. So the key benefits of calibration, well, they're going to give you accurate colors. They're going to ensure your hues and your tones are going to match your screen and your final output, avoiding surprises when you're printing or sharing your work with others. It's going to give you a consistent workflow. Calibration eliminates inconsistencies across devices, so your colors stay reliable even on older or less expensive screens. Pair this with working in sRGB color mode in Photoshop and you can achieve excellent results without the need for a brand new monitor. Remember, even the best screen won't perform well if it's not calibrated. So some budget tips. If your budget's tight, don't stress. Here's your priority upgrade list. Stay fast with the CPU like the Ryzen 7 9700X. Pair it with a mid-tier GPU. Anything from an RTX 3070 above is going to be perfect. Stick 16 gigabytes of RAM in now and you can always upgrade later. Remember, your workstation doesn't have to be perfect from day one. Build smart, upgrade as you go, and you will thank yourself later. So in conclusion, there you have it, the ultimate recipe for a Photoshop workstation in 2025. Whether you're a hobbyist or a seasoned pro, building a system feels seamless. It doesn't need to be overwhelming. At Utopia, we've literally spent nearly 3 decades perfecting workstations for creators like you. And if you want to skip the trial and error, let us do the heavy lifting. Visit our website today and we can start building your dream system, where we've got specific photo editing desktops designed for editors just like you. The link is down below in the comments. Got any questions? Drop them in the comments. I'd love to help. Like this video if it helps you. Subscribe, please. It really means a lot to us. And consider sharing it with anyone else thinking about building a Photoshop rig. Let's make 2025 the most creative year yet. Until next time, stay curious, stay different, and keep Photoshopping.